welcome back to the Penguin Signal podcast, all things YSU athletics. This is an opportunity for you to get to know some of the players and some of the athletes off the field. So I'm super excited to invite you in to the track and field team today. I have two coaches and two runners with me today. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we're going to get started. I have all kinds of questions because this is kind of a new field for me. So I've done a little bit of research, but you guys are going to add so much clarity to to what I've already figured out. So we'll start with the coaches, and then we'll go to the runners, okay? So we'll start with you, Brian.
Yeah, again, Brian Gorby, head coach pretty much for the track and field. This is kind of a cross-country group here. Again, this is cross-country season for the fall, but actually I've been blessed to be here for 32 years as the head track and field and cross-country coach.
Nice. All right, and then what do I...
I'm Bre Rupe. This is my 5th year here at Youngstown State. I work mostly with the women, the distance team, obviously, cross country and track. I help out wherever they need me, though, as well.
Okay, that's amazing. All right, let's go to the runners.
My name is Jenna Rosavi. I'm a senior on the cross country and track team, and this is my 2nd full year here. So.
Oh, nice. Okay.
My name is Patrick Burgos. I'm a 2nd-year freshman here.
Nice. Okay. Oh, wow. 2nd year freshman. What does that mean?
So I obviously, I was here last year, but I had redshirted, which meant that it doesn't take up a year of eligibility, but I still get to run and adjust to the training. Got it.
Okay, so let me start with the most obvious question here is what has inspired you guys to run? Because this is not something that just the average person says, hey, I'm just going to get up and run cross country. And then can somebody explain to me the difference between cross country, track, and basically let's get that out of the way first.
Yeah, so we're in cross country season now, which is just the distance kids pretty much, and they compete. The men compete the 8K and the 10K, depending on the race.
Wow.
The women do the 5K and the 6K.
Okay.
And it's all on the grass. So we do all of our racing on the grass right now. Wow. We go to these races that have anywhere from 5 to 35 teams pretty much.
Wow.
And then track and field, that starts in the winter with our indoor seasons. We race indoors,
okay.
But there's also a lot more components. So we're the distance squad. They'll race anywhere from the 800 up to the 10K. And then there's mid-distance and sprints. They do the 100, the 200. There's hurdles.
Okay.
There's throws. There's shot put, javelin. There's jumps,
that's all
high jump. Yeah, it's all one team.
Got it.
We mostly go to the same meets. Sometimes we're at a few different meets in one weekend because some meets are better for distance and some are better for throws. So we'll go to different competitions. But at the end of the season, we all compete at the same conference championship together. And everyone can score points to win the conference title.
Wow. Now, what rank are we right now? Because you said, okay, so real quick, I asked you a little bit before we started, what is the ultimate honor in track and field? And that is the national championships, right?
Correct.
Okay,
yes.
so, and then there's levels, where you're kind of leveled. What is YSU considered right now as far as level goes?
Well, basically, right now, again, we're a mid-major program, I guess. People would look at us in regard to how we compete.
Okay.
But, of course, this group, of course, has taken it up the last probably 5 to 10 years to a Power 4 level. So the men have been, again, from our national, regional ranking, have been ranked either ahead of Ohio State or behind Ohio State as the #1 program in Ohio. So, and then, of course, this past weekend, they've beaten, Nebraska and Illinois and Iowa. So basically, again, the program, of course, has kind of climbed. And the ladies, of course, have beat Kansas, and I believe Kansas and, a couple other Power 4 type situations. But as Coach was kind of mentioning, the conference is our focus, and our men have won 3 consecutive championships, and our women are currently ranked #1 going into the conference championships. And then the track and field, as Coach Bre was saying, there's 22 events there, and our women and men have won 10 straight indoor championships. So we kind of called it the decade of domination in the past 10 years, with, of course, winning 10 straight championships on the men's side, and the women have won 9 out of 10. So, again, we take a lot of pride in being at the top of the Rising League, but it's got some incredible young people that you're talking to and coaches that kind of lift us up to that national, again, elite level.
Nice. Wow. Okay, now I can't help but notice as you talk your rings. Are these Are these from athletics that you got these
Yeah,
rings?
these are the championship rings that these folks have won. Again, actually, we won 3 in a row. Again, pretty much the men. So this is, again, basically, of course, the cross-country championship ring for the men, winning a
Wow.
three-peat the Penguin. And, of course, again, but we've got 64 of these and stuff so far over our career. So it's
Really?
pretty cool that we've got that during the 30 years of being part of the program and stuff. We were in the mid-con and won 15 there, and now naturally we've won an additional I think 47 or 48, something like that. But at the end of the day, again, all our athletes, again, and some folks are walking out with 2 to 3 to 4, again, rings. Some folks could be walking up to 5 to 6 championship rings.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so it's great that the Penguin Club does this for us. Not everybody does that, but
Yeah.
that's the ultimate goal, is to hopefully, again, is to win the conference championship and get the ring and stuff. And naturally, of course, and it's great for the memories that it all brings together for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing. Yeah.
and the journey.
I mean, my goal is to be walking around with a honking ring like that. That's amazing. Okay, I got to figure out how to do that, though, without athletics being being part of it. Okay, so how long have you guys been running? You guys have been coaching and obviously running before that. Can you share a little bit about what brought you up to this point where you're now at YSU?
Sure. So I started running when I was a little kid. It's just kind of one of those things I think for a lot of people just happens. Like at Olympic Day, nobody else would do the 2 laps around the soccer field, so I would just do it. And my older sister ran, and then I ran in high school. I didn't run at first in college, and then I transferred to school and ran there. And I was fortunate that I had a lot of improvement there. I wasn't exactly the most talented when I was younger, but I had a really good coach. And I think I just kind of fell into coaching because of him.
Wow.
Yeah, I graduated. I got my master's in business administration and my undergrad in marketing. And COVID had happened right when I was finishing up my career at Walsh, which is where I ran at. And my coach just kind of asked me if I would stick around and help out. And so I was there for a year.
Wow.
And then my husband also helps coach here as well. So he works
Really?
mostly with the men's team. But that's kind of how I ended
also
up.
running.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
it's easy.
convenient, yeah.
We'd never see each other otherwise. But yeah, so he was here, and they didn't have any women on the staff, and it was just kind of the next logical step for me. And Coach Gorby was gracious enough to let me come and help out. And so I just kind of ended up here. I never really planned to coach when I was younger, but I love the sport, and I love doing it, and I just love getting to work with the athletes every day. It's hard to call it a job. It's so much fun.
Really? That's amazing. That's beautiful. So Coach Gorby, are you somewhat like a legend?
No,
Yes, he is. He's been here longer than anybody else.
Okay.
Just this is extended family. Again, naturally, it's a labor of love. Again, at this point, and naturally, the first couple of years, you're kind of building something. But at the end of the day, like I said, Coach Bre's done just an incredible job lifting up all the ladies. And like I said, pretty much the cool part about our staff is she's in there running with them. She's won the Panerathon on the women's side 4 years. She won't say that, but basically, that's a pretty cool deal to be running against 8,000 to 10,000 people winning that. And if we think about Panerathon, everybody thinks about what a great event, but she's won that 4 times. And she's able, of course, to kind of run with Jenna, Mickey, Callie, and all the ladies, and always just trying to lift them up. And we kind of did that back in the day when we first got started. Actually, my running side of things, I got into it. Basically, I was pretty much a quarterback through all of middle school, high school for Bourbon High School, and then I got to Bourbon, but I was behind Barney Kozar as the quarterback, so I figured that I wasn't going to hand the ball off for the next 3 years, so I kind of started the running piece, and then running took off, and me and my 3 brothers fortunately went to state for, I think, 10 years in a row, and naturally but again, from that perspective, and then I learned a lot, of course, going through that experience, and then, of course, YSU started a program, and we were blessed to kind of get the opportunity to start here. Ron Strollo, of course, his wife, again, ran with us, and like I said, we just kind of built from there. But as I said, it's been a cool experience. Again, it's like I said, it's just like an extended family, and everybody's again there for each other, and you get great opportunities to see these folks not only finish up here, but also go on and run the rest of their lives. And not that I'm 58 years old and trying to walk 1 million miles here for 1 million steps for the month of October and stuff, and I've got about another 100,000 to go here and stuff, and just more things to kind of again. We're all driven, of course, in that way, but we all love what we do and stuff. So that's the bottom line, it doesn't feel like work. It's just fun to of course come to practice and get a chance to catch up with Patrick and Jenna and coach every day and stuff. And basically that's kind of, and of course the last neat part is the travel. I mean, our administration and we host these meets with 6,000 people so we can generate money, and then we're flying to Boston. These folks
Yeah.
fly to Boston, fly to Arkansas, we flew to Missouri last week. So just so much fun traveling the country with everybody. So
For sure, man.
yeah.
Okay, so now we're coming to the players, but real quick, how many runners are on each team?
We have 16 women right now.
16,
and
okay.
Probably about 21 men.
Wow. Okay, so to travel all together, is that a bus? You guys
Sometimes we took a bus to Notre Dame.
Okay.
Some meets we can only run a certain amount of athletes. So like conference is just 12 each.
Okay.
And so we'll take buses or vans for that,
Vans,
excuse me.
okay.
But we flew to Missouri. So we
Got it.
drive to the airport and we fly to Missouri and rent cars and get
got
around
it.
that
Oh,
way.
wow. So, man, you flying, busing, vanning.
Yep.
That's amazing.
And
Who gets to pick the music?
Depends who's driving.
Well, everybody's got their iPods on these
Yeah.
days.
Oh,
so
that's
for the
okay,
most
okay.
part, I can't get anybody listens to the same exact thing.
That's
at least
okay.
from my perspective.
That's actually one of the questions I have is what music motivates you to keep running when you're like, okay, but we'll get to that because we're coming to you guys, okay? So how long have you been running? What got you into YSU right now? Where are you from, et cetera?
Yeah, I've been running for 9 years. I'm from Medina, Ohio, so only like an hour and a
Okay.
half from here. I always wanted to run in college, and I went to OU for my first year and a half, so in Athens, Ohio.
Okay.
And then I ended up just like not having the best experience there. I didn't really do well with the training, and I transferred here in the middle of my sophomore year. So
Got it.
Yeah.
So did you recruit her? Who recruited her?
In high school, yeah, my husband actually recruited her
Yeah.
first,
No
and
way,
then
okay.
and then
Yeah,
she reached out to us then when she was transferring, which
Oh,
was
so
nice.
you were happy.
So,
Yeah.
really
Oh,
happy.
Yeah.
good.
I reached back out here my sophomore year, and then, I've
That's
been
great.
a lot more successful at YSU thanks to Bre and Coach Gorby.
great.
So
Wow, that's amazing. All right, and then what about you?
I've been running for about like 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
I started running my freshman year of high school because of
Really?
COVID. I didn't get to like do anything, and then I got a stress fracture. So I ran, I think, like 3 races total my freshman year. So I've really only been running since like my sophomore year of high school. But I used to be a fencer actually. I didn't run.
What?
I used
Fencing?
To, yeah.
I did not know that.
Where did you go to school?
So I went to Elizabeth Forward, but I live where my mom lives. It's about like 15, 20 minutes from the city of Pittsburgh. So I fenced for a club in the city, and like the coach was like the national champion of like Bulgaria, and just, like we were like really serious.
Area.
And like
Oh,
I had
shoot.
qualified for summer nationals, but then when COVID hit my freshman year, fencing was one of the sports that got like completely shut down. So that's what actually I just wanted to do something, and I didn't really want to do any other sport, so I just started running because my friends did it.
Wow. Hey, that's good peer pressure right there. That's amazing. And really, whether it's football, soccer, anything, to be able to run, to be able to have that like wind in your sail has got to be good for everything. You know, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the longest you've run? So recently we had the ultra, it was the ultra marathon or something like that in Mill Creek Park where they ran, and there was a 25K and a 50K. Which is 30 miles or something, 33 miles or something like that. Anyway, fascinating. I went out there and I watched these guys, and I was like, they're running up the hill, and I thought, oh man, they're going to be winded, and they'd take a little break and then they'd go right back. I was like, what in the world? Like, that's crazy. Okay, so what is the longest jaunt that you guys have each run?
I've done, I think 15 miles is my
Really?
longest run. We do long runs typically every week. Like
Okay.
our team probably ranges from like 10 to 15 miles.
Wow.
So
Now,
I
do you go through Mill Creek and stuff? Like, where do you guys?
We run at Mill Creek most days. Some days we'll go to other trails like up in
Yeah.
Garrettsville.
Okay.
But mostly in Mill Creek.
Wow. So, on that note, one of the things that I'll read. I actually said that you have to have mental toughness with the cross country. You have to have. It says it's okay. So basically, and I need you to explain the score thing because it says the goal is to have the lowest score. But it says that the sport originated in the 19th century and it requires a combination of endurance, strength, and mental toughness because it includes hills, woods, fields, all kinds of stuff, which really, I was like, oh, I thought it was just running, but to think about, like the mental toughness, the ability to manage your energy and to give your all in certain things. I mean, that's so incredible. So yeah, that's
Yeah, I mean, I think like being around the group of people that we are around every day, like we don't realize that it's not normal to run as much as we do every day. But yeah, it definitely takes like a ton of mental strength and endurance.
yeah,
So yeah.
that's
And
amazing.
you have to train yourself not to go into oxygen debt, which they do almost every single day. So when we get to the race, they don't go into oxygen, because once you go into oxygen debt, then it's a little tougher, of course. Usually you slow down very quickly, and you get that, of course, burning feeling and that type of thing. So, but we're used to like training at that, right on the edge. And Coach Eric Rupe has done an incredible job with our training models and just keep learning and that type of thing. But just to the point where you're kind of saying pretty much mental toughness and all of that goes out the window if you can't breathe. So
Right.
again, pretty much they do a good job, and sometimes we take that for granted. But
Yeah, wow. All right, and what about you? What's the longest you've run?
Well, in high school, my sophomore year, like my first year of running, I decided that it would be a good idea to run 20 miles the day before my first track practice.
Oh no.
And so I ran
20 miles.
from where my house, where I live is I live on a trail called the Great Allegheny Passage, which is like, it runs from like Point Park all the way to like, I think like DC or something like somewhere in Maryland.
Wow.
And I ran 20 miles on it, but recently the longest I've ran is 17 miles.
Wow, man. And so is it really, I mean, they talk about the runner's high. Like okay, we're coming back to that. But okay, let's just,
How far? Yeah, I've run 15 miles before. So,
Okay.
and I should point out that when they talk about their long run, they do this every week. So Jenna runs
Oh.
on average about 14 miles once a week on one day, and but she
Man.
runs about 70 miles per week. So she'll do 14 miles on one day,
Goodness gracious,
but every
wow.
other day most of them run 7 days a week. Some kind of like to stagger it where they have a day off on Sunday,
Yeah.
or some just have lower mileage. But like Patrick, I'm sure runs like 80 some miles a
about 80
week.
miles a week.
Yeah.
My
so
goodness.
they do this every day, and then every other day is still like Jenna will go out for an easy day. It'll still be like 8 or 9 miles. So that's a recovery day for them. So they're out there just like when he talks about oxygen debt, they're just always training their bodies to be able to process oxygen, and they're kind of raising their threshold at which their muscles can perform before their blood can't carry the oxygen necessary to it. That's like when he talks about going into OD, it's like when you're performing too much, your body can't keep up with the oxygen demands to your muscles, and that's when they get fatigued and tired and you go lactic and you can't move anymore. But they're putting in a
So
ton
it's
of
a science,
miles.
too.
It is a science, yeah. So we're very, very specific with a lot of our training, but they're like, I mean, yeah, it's what they do every day is impressive, and what they do every week is just incredible. So they're really working hard.
Man. And okay, so just before we come to Coach Gorby or Gorby?
Gorby.
With a G.
With a G, Gorby. Okay. Okay, so have you guys ever seen somebody go from, like I've heard of this couch to 5K type thing where you're just running a little bit every day and you start stretching it out. Did you guys hit the ground running, or was it like, okay, I ran a mile, yay, and then 3 and 5 and now 18? 15?
Yeah, I started running in middle school, and we didn't run very much at
Oh,
all.
okay,
So
okay,
I'd go
all
like
right.
a whole summer barely running.
Yeah.
So I definitely think it's easier to go like and run a 5K after a few months of training.
Okay.
But yeah, we didn't run a ton in middle school.
Got it. So you just
it's
really
been
kind
a
of worked
long
up to
way
be,
to
yeah.
get to like this
Man.
amount of mileage. Yeah.
I definitely runners, and then they love it. They push their body to the extreme. Okay. And then Coach Gorby, what's the longest you've run? And then can you explain what happens when there is a runner's high? Is it because of the oxygen all of a sudden where people feel like this euphoria?
As far as the feeling part, it's been a while as far as that goes. But again, the most I've ever run was 35. I used to be a marathoner. That was my trade, actually, so 26.2 miles. Again, I won Columbus Marathon as far as the top Ohio, and second place was Coach Rupe's uncle, Chris Rupe, and stuff. So we used to run quite a bit, again, for a marathon. So 35 miles, I believe, is the most I've ever run at one time from that standpoint. But most of the time, our training runs, we'd set out water and basically, but for about a 2-3 year period and stuff, we would 26. I don't know Patrick's something he's looking at down the road is to be a marathoner and that type of thing down the road and stuff. So as far as, again, the euphoria, usually you feel great for maybe 5 to 15 miles, and then you hit that quote-unquote wall, again, from that perspective. And when you hit that wall, again, hopefully, of course, the training, as Coach has mentioned, as far as, again, you've basically developed things, so of course you don't go into oxygen dead, and of course you can kind of deal with fatigue and that type of thing. So, but again, the euphoria is usually from 5 to 10 miles at least. When I used to run marathons back in the day, and now of course we're doing maybe, I think the other day I did 32 miles of walking in and running and stuff. Just, of course, pretty much because there's a goal to go get from that perspective. But naturally, again, it also allows us, Coach Bre, I talk to a lot of people, you can eat whatever you want. So, so pretty much, again, somebody who loves to eat and can literally eat a whole pizza. And like I said, naturally, we'll diet for 6 days a week, but naturally, nothing like having something that you really enjoy to eat that you really probably couldn't eat without, of course, the ability to be able to put 10 or 15 miles in and burn 2,000 calories. These folks probably burn 2,000 calories.
Wow.
Now we're, of course, going a lot slower these days, but that used to be, again, was kind of a goal and something we still enjoy.
Wow. Yeah. Man, it's like a whole different world. Okay, so when is the season, and how can people be a part of, I guess they don't really watch okay, when is the season, and how can the community support or be a part or cheer on? How does that work?
Cross country, we compete from August to mid-November.
Okay.
A lot of people you can follow along live results online.
Okay.
But obviously people can come out and watch most of our meets. Our conference meet is next week, like we talked about at Purdue Fort Wayne, which is in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So it's only 4 hours from here.
Wow, okay.
Which isn't too bad, but
no.
Some of our meets are pretty far away. Like last week we were in Missouri.
Okay. Do we ever host meets here in Youngstown? Really?
Yeah, we have a new cross-country course, actually. So Coach Gorby, the course is named after him and his family because they donated the money for it. And his daughter actually, it's part of Mill Creek Farms, and his daughter is on part of the board there, I guess, that helps manage it and controls and everything. But yeah, we have 2 home cross-country meets as of right now. It's just over in Canfield there. But so
great.
we're super
other
fortunate.
people come in here then to compete.
Yeah, other teams come in and compete right on our own home course.
That?
Yeah, it's really nice.
So before the course, then it was kind of hard for that to happen?
Yeah, we didn't have anywhere. You really have to have a designated course that's measured out, and because courses can be inaccurate, but for the most part, it should be this specific distance, a 5K or a 6K usually. Sometimes there's off distances, but you kind of need a designated space for it. So if you don't have a cross-country course, you really can't host a meet. So we couldn't host anything. We host indoor track meets, obviously, a lot, but cross-country, this was our second year hosting, so it's pretty exciting.
That is exciting. So if they follow, then they could see when you guys are hosting a meet here in Youngstown and come out and support and be a part of that. Does that make a big difference when people show up? Or are you so focused, you're honed in, you're the world goes away until you get that. Do either of you guys do the hurdles?
I actually do the steeplechase, which is in track. So I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's a 3,000 meter race, so just under 2 miles.
Okay.
And there are big, almost permanent barriers, so not the regular hurdles that fall over when you jump over them. And then there are also once a lap, there's a hurdle. And then I don't know how many feet it is, but maybe 7 feet water pit, and you just basically try to jump over it.
How fun is that?
It's cool to watch, but it's hard to run. But it's really fun.
That would be fun to watch.
Yeah.
The obstacle course kind of that's sweet. And then what do you do any of the jumps?
No, I don't.
No, you just point A to point B, go. That's amazing. Okay, so how well do you guys know your other teammates?
Really
is it pretty because you guys travel together and everything? So I have a who's more likely questions. Okay. All right. So, and you guys can, because you coaches know each of the players. So okay, who is more likely if you guys encounter a bear to try to fight the bear?
Carly.
Probably Carly, yeah.
She's the head of the archery club here.
Yeah.
So she hunts big game.
So she'd be like, I got it. That's really cool.
She also won an archery state championship.
Yeah.
Are you? And she's on the team.
Yeah, she's on the team. Yeah.
Oh man.
There is no, I guess. Archery
Yeah, I definitely
in college,
would. I would take on a
out of the
challenge
girls
with
and
her,
the guys. I would pick Carly.
I don't know. Guy would.
Yes,
Sage. Yeah, I'd pick Sage. Yeah.
Sage is on the archery club here as well. And stuff.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Who would be more likely to run and outrun the bear? Everybody?
I
No,
think
kidding.
Trenton.
Trenton, yeah.
Trenton. Okay, he would be like, I'm out.
Yep.
I don't know.
What do they say? You don't have to be the fastest, just not the last.
Just
or
not the
whatever.
slowest, yeah.
Okay. All right. So, well, you guys kind of agree on all of those. All right. Who is most likely to go to the Olympics? Now, I know there's not cross country in the Olympics anymore, I read. So, who is more, but there is track and field, right? So, who is most likely to be like the Olympic champ?
Probably Mickey.
Yeah, Mickey on the
or
women's side. Yeah,
Patrick.
Mickey and
Okay.
Patrick are
Patrick on the
Olympians.
guy's
Yeah.
side, he's the
Oh,
fastest. He's
and-
a freshman running almost times that Hunter Christopher ran last year and stuff. So probably
Nice.
Patrick.
Okay. Oh, man. So, we could have some Youngstown fame in the
Yeah.
Olympics. Okay. Who is more likely to end up as a coach like your coaches? Natural teacher, natural.
Thomas Caputo.
Yeah, Thomas
yeah.
Caputo.
Aw.
Molly Hopple, I feel
Molly,
like,
I was
is,
gonna
yeah.
say
Thomas-
I love how
And
well
then
you guys know your players.
Thomas is almost already.
Thomas is kind of
he's
Coach Caputo already.
Coach
Yeah,
Caputo.
he's helping out. Yeah.
He, naturally, if none of us are here, none of us are here, we feel comfortable with him rolling.
Now, are there team captains? Is that how that works? I don't know.
We don't,
No,
yeah, we don't
no.
do team
Team
captains.
okay,
We kind of want
everybody's-
everybody to feel like that they can step up if
Yeah.
they need to in the situation.
I love
so.
it. Okay. Who is more likely to get lost on a run?
Brock Ferris. Brock Ferris.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Girls team. We have like
Honestly, a lot of any of the
lot
freshmen.
younger
Yeah,
girls.
they would just.
Maybe Claire.
Yeah, Claire wouldn't
or-
know. Honestly, maybe Mickey too. She would just
Yeah,
kind of go.
maybe. I can see Callie getting lost too.
Yeah, the girls' team. I think there are a lot of. There's a few people that know the routes, and everyone else just kind of follows.
Yeah,
I think,
a lot
and
of
so
newer people.
Oh, okay.
we really
so
need some people in charge there for most days.
Okay. All right. And then who is most likely to run the most marathons?
I would say Mickey.
Probably Mickey again. Yeah, she's our
she-
long distance girl.
Okay.
She's she already said she wants to do marathons after this. Then
Oh,
Patrick
wow.
obviously
Patrick,
will probably
yeah, we'll run
take
that
over the
marathon.
marathons.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
All right. All right,
So
Patrick.
Patrick
That's amazing.
again.
Goodness gracious. All right. And then who is most likely to become a running back in football?
I don't know if I could pick any of the guys.
I would say Mickey with those. She could run people over with the quads.
She's
Yeah, Mickey's
strong.
strong.
Nikki used to wrestle. One of our girls used to wrestle
Yeah,
when
she
she was
Oh, no
younger. So
way.
I feel like she could.
Man, you
yeah.
guys have a very, very skilled team. If you
Yeah.
guys had
Yeah.
to survive like
Come on.
anything,
Yeah.
you guys just stick together. Everybody has their.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so
Thank you.
what were you going to say, Coach?
No, that's good.
Okay, all right. So normally I have a co-host. So I don't know if you guys have known that, but most of you guys who are watching know that I have a co-host. So since I don't have a co-host today, I am going to give each one of you guys a chance to be my co-host and ask someone else or a couple of other people a question. Okay? So hopefully it's a question that you don't know yet and that you think would be maybe even like even if it's funny, it could like kind of throw them off, okay? But we're going to get to that right after this. All right, guys, we are back. And I want to introduce you to my co-hosts of today's podcast. So for a moment, they are each going to be a co-host. They get to ask the questions instead of answering the questions. So who wants to start?
I can start.
Oh, yay, okay. You-
Okay, my question's for Coach Bre.
All right.
So we have the conference championship next week, and I know like we've had it in the back of our heads that we have a good chance to win, and it would be the first time in I think 11 years.
Wow.
So what would it mean for you guys, or both of you guys even, for us to win and for the future of the team, especially since we have such a young team?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. Yeah, we haven't won a conference title since 2014. We have 3 total under our belts for the women. I think it's 2013, 2014, and 97 maybe.
Correct.
So Obviously, when you compare that to the success of the track team, the women have won, 15 some in the last 20 years maybe or something like that. So I think that on the distance side, we've watched the men win the last 3 in a row. And so for the women, it's just been this like slow burn of how do we get to that level where we're winning a title. I think we've always kind of felt like, we really needed the support of our very talented track team. It's great to be on a great track team, but, we're not winning the cross country title, but then we win indoor and outdoor. So that's, we're clearly relying a lot on the other events to win. We've always had really talented women and we've run some really fast times, but I think we've always, really wanted to be able to accomplish that as well. And watching the men do it. So it's just been really neat. But yeah, I think actually accomplishing that would just really mean so much. The women, especially the last year and a half, the change that we've had in our team, I told them at the end of last year and going into this year, like that they are changing the culture of the team. It's a very different team.
That's really good.
It is though. I think that, they love each other and they support each other so much. And that's what's really made the difference with this team. And so it would just be, the culmination of all the hard work that they've really been putting in the last few years. And the women that, I've had Molly Hopple and Carly Hall on the team since I started here almost. Carly at least. Molly has been the last 4 years. And so it's just been them like, helping kind of start this and believing in this vision. And then we get really talented runners like Callie and Jenna and Mickey, and, they're up front leading the way. And it's just everyone believing in this thing and knowing we can do it, but then actually executing it is just like, it would just mean everything, and it would prove that we also contribute just as much to this team as well as every other event. And I think it would be really special for everybody. So
that is amazing. All right. Do you think you could do it?
Oh yeah, I know we can do it. We just gotta one day at a time until we get there. Yeah,
okay.
we're not even talking about it that much really.
Right.
It's just.
But when I see it happen, I will be cheering from here. I'll be like, yes, they did it. Yeah. That's amazing. That's absolutely. So since 2014, the women haven't had that.
Not a cross country title. Yeah.
Okay.
We've won a lot of indoor and outdoor championships, which has been awesome to be a part of. But this would mean a little something more for us distance girls. Yeah.
And
I'm going
to interject one small thing is this group pretty much. If you look at our track and cross country, most other teams they put all that are very good, like Oakland, they put all the resources into their cross country distance program. So that's the impressive part about our men and where our women are trending up. Is we're basically trying to put a lot of resources into pole vault, jumps, throws, sprints, and distance, which we're probably making it challenging for, of course, Coach Bre, Coach Rupe, anything from that perspective, because we have maybe 20% of the resources other folks are trying to put it in to try to be competitive on the cross-country side. So it's really amazing. But the key part is to watch the climb to the top of Ohio, which, of course, is a credit Coach Rupe, Coach Bre, and Patrick and Jenna and all of these runners and stuff to push up to the top of Ohio with maybe not quite the same resources, maybe that a program that would just do cross-country year-round and not have any of the other areas, which some of these teams do.
Right.
So from a resource standpoint, that's the other impressive thing. If we would win it, they would be doing something off of maybe 20 to 30% of the resources that these other teams are doing it with, because, again, pretty much we try to be solid in all 5 phases, like in football, special teams. We try to be sprints, jumps, throws, distance, and track. But to be able to do this in cross country would be just incredible, and we can never, of course, let that kind of get in the way of pretty much what a big situation that would be to win it and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's okay. Nice question. That was good. All right, who wants to go next? Patrick, you want to go next?
Sure.
Okay.
This is kind of for everybody. If you weren't a runner, what sport would you do?
Oh, great.
That's going to be my question. That was I know. Got to think something else.
I'm not super athletic. Like, I was never super athletic before running, but probably I tried like gymnastics and stuff. I would have liked to be good at that, but I never was. Maybe soccer though.
Oh yeah. Well, if you like to run, man.
Yeah.
I went to one of the YSU soccer games the other day, and man, that running is like half the battle. Okay. Who wants to
I think I used to play soccer and softball. I think soccer would be the most similar, but it'd be cool to do a sport like lacrosse or something where you really have to like have that hand-eye coordination that most runners severely lack. So it'd be cool to be able to do something like that and have like a lot of skill around something. Not that running's not a skill, but like we don't we don't do as many drills as them. We just go run for endless miles. And
Okay,
it'd be
got it.
neat to be able to like be inside
Yeah.
when it's raining and cold and like practicing something like that instead of like, I got to
Got
go
it.
run 14 miles.
Right. And lacrosse, you have to have the ability to get hit, right?
Yeah, you got to be tough.
Oh, man.
From my perspective, just probably any sport. I love football, basketball. I played football again pretty much. I kind of at some point thought I was going to go in that direction. Basketball I played. I also played baseball and stuff, and played with Bo Pelini and Barney Kosar, and so
Wow.
naturally I played with all those guys. Actually, I was a catcher for Bo, and then I coached my daughter's softball team. We won a state championship back 10 years ago and stuff in the state of Ohio. So any of those sports, I love all kinds of sports. We just love to compete and stuff. So pretty much any of those sports.
Nice. That was a great question. Find out a lot about people. And for you, it would be fencing?
Either fencing or soccer. So I also did play soccer, which is I feel like the most common pipeline to running. Like a lot of runners have played soccer at some point, and I was a midfielder, so I would just run the entire game. So
Wow. Man, yeah. All right. Who else? Who wants to be the next co-host? Question.
All right, I'll ask for the athletes, if you guys could trade places with anybody on the team, whose body would you inhabit, and why?
Oh, man. Wow.
I'd say either Brock Ferris or Ethan Cope, because they're like taller runners, but they're like still really like bird-like. They're really like light, and I feel like they just kind of have like a perfect form.
Bird-like,
Like,
I
I feel like I'm like shorter, so I'd like to pick basically anybody taller. But
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, man. So that's impressive, though, that you, because if somebody has long legs, they go faster,
Yeah.
longer, faster, right?
It's not always an
except-
advantage though to be a tall
Yeah.
person. You've got more weight to carry, and it's if it's windy or if it's hot, taller people tend to not do as well when it's hot.
Really?
Yeah. You've just got more body that can overheat, and it's just there's like a lot of little weird things. Like when you look at long distance runners, marathoners, you don't see many very tall, successful marathoners. Yeah.
I never
Yeah.
even knew that. Wow. Okay. So anybody who's bird-like,
Pretty much.
light
they're
on their feet.
Yeah, they're like lighter.
I like it
yeah.
because you know what? Sometimes I feel like when I'm riding a bike, I feel like just light as the wind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I could see how certain times running, you just feel like you're just flying.
Probably Callie. Because Callie's like who I train with the most, but she's also really quiet.
Oh, okay.
Want to know what her thoughts.
Isn't that funny? Like, people who are quiet.
Probably
like,
judging you.
Yeah.
That's what- we always
Probably
joke that
judging.
she's judging all of us because she's just so quiet but so kind.
Oh, that is hilarious. Oh, that's sweet. All right, Coach.
Pretty much, Andy said pretty much. I can't really think of any one person and stuff. Probably just a.
Who would? Okay, I'll adjust the question for Coach. How's that?
Yeah,
Because
go
even
for
though
it.
it was for this, okay, if you could, I don't know, collaborate with one athlete, because you kind of have the broad. It doesn't have to be a runner. Who would it be? Like, who would be kind of like an icon that you would love to spend some time with?
Probably Thomas Caputo. Thomas again, pretty much.
Coach Caputo.
Coach Caputo again. Just a lot of things he has that are very similar as far as things that he has sports-wise, his thought process. Again, just the way he does things and that type of thing is always pretty impressive.
Okay.
And
Wow.
He has literally, even as a freshman, he was already almost a 70, 60. I'm 58 years old. He's already a 58-year-old person as a freshman.
Born middle-aged.
He was born middle-aged.
Yeah.
Get his coffee, get his newspaper, and naturally, and he's just brought a very kind of calming type, and he's that kind of athlete on the other side that's a coach that really isn't named a coach, but in a sense pretty much does everything that pretty much that myself or Coach Bre or Coach Eric can do. So that would probably be the person.
All right. Nice. All right, so we might as well present the question to you, and then you get to ask the question next.
All right. I don't know if I honestly, I wish I could switch with one of the boys on the team for a day. Well, because we joke,
Okay.
as like being a girl runner, it's just the physical differences like in our sport are very apparent, and it's almost frustrating for us sometimes because we watch these guys. We're just like, man, they run so much more. They run so much faster, and it looks so easy for them. And it's like, obviously we train a lot, and they train a lot to get to that point. But I just think it would be so cool to be able to run like 4 flat in the mile. And yeah, like, cause I know no matter how hard I train, like I'll never even like, you know, I can be one of the fastest women in the world, and half of our boys team would beat me still. So it's like, you know, it'd be really cool to be one of the guys and be able to perform at that level and just see what that feels like. So I don't really have a specific one in mind, but you know, a successful male athlete, I think it'd be cool to feel that and see what that's like. That
totally makes sense. Totally. When like Michael Phelps swimming, I feel like to have that speed through the water, I feel like I would love to experience that.
See what that feels like.
See what that feels like. Cool. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So what is your question?
Probably who is the, in your opinion, again, perception, who is the funniest person on the team?
Jenna is our comic relief. I'll say that first. Yes, she is.
I love it.
Every day she's like not only positive, but like cracking some weird joke or something that's like making us laugh and keeping the attitude positive. So I'd say Jenna.
Or a manager at her work did something that
she's got a story for everything.
Story for every single day she does something.
That's great. All right, I'm going to ask you for a joke after everybody else answers the question. What do you think, Patrick?
I really can't think of like one singular person, but like just seeing some of the guys like interact with each other is just really funny. Like seeing like Connor and like Blaze go at it in practice is awesome.
Blaze
like
is
Coach like Caputo, Thomas Caputo is always really funny.
Okay.
But I don't know if there's really just one person. It's just I feel like everybody together is just like there's always just something going on. It's always pretty funny.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And it adds so much energy when people laugh and they're joke, and you know, there's just so much energy in that. That's
calms things down.
Yeah, absolutely.
And makes it fun.
It does. Right. Yeah, like you work hard, but you also are like in good spirits, happy to be there. That's important. All right. Can you think of a joke right off the bat?
I don't know. I don't really make jokes, but
Yeah.
like
She doesn't.
it's more so like when we're doing a workout. Let's say we have like 10 reps of a really hard workout.
Okay.
The last thing anyone wants to hear is like how many reps we have left. But at the end of the first rep, I'll tell them like only like 40 more laps, guys. And they all hate it, but
They're like,
it's just kind of like funny.
Right.
I have crazy stories from like work or stuff like that.
That's
all the
okay.
time.
Nice. All right, so I have a joke. It's kind of cheesy, but what do you get when you put 5 ducks into a box?
What do you get?
A box of quackers. All right, there you go.
That's good.
All right, let's talk music, and then I will round this up with my last and final question. Well, okay, I got 2 more questions, but let's just real quick, a pop thing. A good song, a good motivating song that you love to listen to when everybody got their iPods on or whatever, AirPods. It was iPod in my generation.
Yeah.
Any old Kanye West song.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Some of those are good. Yeah. Okay.
I'd say Goodbye Horses by Q Lazarus.
Really? I never even heard
always
that.
a song I listen to before races.
Goodbye Horses.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go listen to that. Yeah, I've never heard.
I know, right?
I don't anything upbeat. Honestly, I don't even before like my races. I don't know if it's like nerves. I don't even hear the words. So it's just like anything that's like
That just-
it's just like
Okay.
fun and upbeat. So I don't really have like a set pre-race
Got
or
it.
pre-workout.
Are you
song.
allowed to listen while you're running?
Yeah,
is that
we're
okay?
usually running together. So,
Okay.
I mean, sometimes before races, people have headphones in just to kind of like, I think to chill out, and that's fine.
Right.
But like at practice, nobody has. Like sometimes the girls will
Okay.
carry a speaker or something when they
Okay.
run, but you can still talk over it. But yeah, nobody
Love
wears
it.
headphones at practice.
Oh, okay.
And then September, Earth, Wind, and Fire, pretty much is
a good
what we
one.
listen to. Actually, it's our anniversary song and the day we got married and stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, nice. I'm gonna have to
Motivational
check
and
out.
sentimental.
I know. That's
Motivational and sentimental.
that's good. Motivationally and sentimental. That's exactly. Okay. So before I ask, like my last and final question, I'd like to ask everybody. I'm going to give you one of you guys a chance to shout out somebody who has been important and pivotal a mentor, a parent, a coach, somebody other than, you can't say your coaches, because obviously we know that the impact they make daily. But somebody, I'm going to give you a chance to shout out somebody who's been an important part of your life and making you who you are today.
I would say
Start
shout
with you,
out to
Jen.
my parents. Yeah, they've just always been there for me, and they always tell me, like, when I was transferring and stuff, like, it's obviously a big move and a big change, but they just want me to do whatever is happy for me. Like, money part, like, doesn't, obviously it matters, but
Yeah.
as long as I'm happy, they're happy, and they make sure that they, like, support me with everything. So
That is
yeah,
great.
really good parents.
Oh, wow. That's so foundational. That's great.
I'd say like any of the seniors that graduated last year, like Hunter Christopher, Keegan Barnett, Riley, like they all kind of, whenever like my class got here, I feel like a lot of us are really quiet and like we didn't really do much, but they kind of taught us how to have fun and enjoy it. And it's not just all about running. And especially like Hunter, like obviously he was like a really great runner, and I look up to him in a lot of aspects. Like I feel like I don't really want to be like him, but he like set the bar, and I feel like that's how I look at it. Like he set a barrier, and it's like meant to be broken, and like so I kind of just look up to like what he did, and but really just like all the seniors kind of taught us just like how to have fun and just to enjoy all the little things.
Enjoy the
That's
journey.
great. Okay. What about you guys?
I'm really lucky that I have been able to coach with my husband, and he was, coaching. He's 5 years older than me, so it's really nice that, as like a younger coach, I've been able to like watch him and see what he's done, and then I can also ask him a lot of questions, and he can tell me like, well, I did this and it didn't work, so don't do that. And
Right.
It's really nice to have someone that I
that's
can go to for just like anything. And obviously, the success of the men's program speaks for itself. And then I know him and I both just look up to Coach Gorby so much, and he's done you can't find a coach here, obviously I'm biased, but who's, put more time into a program than Coach Gorby has, and everything that he's done for us. So I'm very fortunate that, the people that I work with are also family, and I learn so much from them. So it's been a really, I feel like I would never have learned so much if I was anywhere else. So I'm pretty lucky.
That is so beautiful. That's great. All right.
Yeah, and we'll just piggyback on that naturally. Again, Coach Bre, Coach Eric, they're the day-to-day folks. They're out there. Naturally, we're out running around trying to set up meets, setting up travel, setting up. So naturally, everything they do, again, pretty much just you can feel so comfortable and trust them, and they care about it, and they just keep building it up. And then we, of course, have our other coaches, Coach Townsend, who is our sprint coach, has been here for 20 years, and he's been just nothing but amazing what he does, and Coach Morales and Coach Glass and Coach Penman, our pole vault coach. And then probably the folks naturally, again, are my brothers and stuff that are pretty much been part of the program from 1993 when we all started. And so my brother Keith, Kevin, and Paul, they've been a big part of things. And then naturally learn a lot from your parents, again, as far as all they kind of set the tone for us. And then, of course, President Tressel, Coach Tressel, fortunately had an office next to him for about almost 15 to 20 years. So naturally you're going to be a sponge and just learn a lot from what he did and what they did back in the 90s and what he's done from there and how he pays it forward and continues to pay it forward. So naturally himself and again Ron Strollo, who continues to pay it forward. Just when you're at this point of your career, you kind of want to be able to take a lot with what those folks have done, and they've been extremely successful and learned a lot from them, but how they pay it forward is kind of what we're starting to kind of really want to try to impact the program more that way. So.
Wow. That is amazing. I'm truly amazed at how people can make or break the next generation or the people around them. And so that's always amazing to me to hear, like, how greatness is never solitary, It's always giving and receiving information and stuff. And I find that fascinating. So it has been so amazing interviewing you guys, talking to you guys. So before we finish, except for the fly is an unwelcome guest. Okay,
There's like a few of them that are working together.
I think so. I know. These are like their own kind of.
Get your fencing thing out.
Yeah, really.
All right. So the one thing I like to ask everybody, because word of mouth is the best publicity, is one of your favorite local places that you like to go to. It doesn't have to be a food place often it is because everybody likes to eat, but it could be a favorite place you like to do your hair, a mechanic, somewhere you like to buy clothes, like wherever, just something that you feel like everybody should know about, that you have discovered and enjoy. Kind of putting you on the spot. Who wants to go
I need
first?
some time to think.
I feel like
Condado
because I'm
tacos.
not from the area. I'm from
Oh,
Pittsburgh.
perfect. So this is an outside point
whenever
of
I
view.
got here, I mean, obviously, like, it's kind of like not really in Youngstown, but
Yeah,
we
that's
do our
okay.
long runs at Garrettsville, and I'm a huge coffee person. I love coffee,
Oh,
and
and what's it
there's
called?
a coffee place called Cellar Door that is like right next to the place we do most of our long runs all throughout the year.
Oh, okay.
And so that's probably like one of my favorite places to go because we normally like go there after our long runs as a team and we
Yeah.
socialize, and it's always a good time.
So it's cellar door, like the basement cellar?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Definitely. All right. In Garrettsville.
Yeah.
Okay. Next time I'm out that way, I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah, Garrettsville's, that's a really good one. Cellar
Yeah.
Door. Our whole team loves coffee, so
Oh, that's
Stone Fruit up on campus.
Oh, yes. Okay.
It's a good coffee shop.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you guys are blessed with a few different coffee. You have Stone Fruit, you have Pressed, and then obviously the Barnes & Noble's bookstore. Is there anybody else? Anything?
There's
Any
a-
other coffee?
Dunkin' on campus, but I don't think it's
Oh.
there anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like it was in Kilcawley and there's construction, so.
Oh, got it. So yeah, everything.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be exciting. The new construction in Kilcawley.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, what about you guys? A favorite local place?
I've got two, if that's
Oh,
okay.
great. Fantastic.
I feel like
Yeah.
this is like a hot button topic, but the best pizza in Youngstown,
Oh.
I think it's like not even a question that Avalon has the best pizza downtown. I mean, I
good,
love
yes.
downtown. All the places are great, but Avalon's the best. But on the coffee vein,
Yeah.
Glenwood Grounds over on Glenwood Avenue, because
Great.
their whole thing is, through the mission, and
Yeah.
they all their prices, everyone there volunteers, and so all their prices
Incredible.
are super low to support the community. And I feel like you don't find many coffee shops.
I'm
who-
sorry. That fly, look, it's like his last hurrah.
I know. I feel like I need like a face shield.
It's going to be the most famous fly in Youngstown.
It's on the podcast. But no, they just do so much. And so I feel like they're just, so invested in revitalizing the community. And that's so
Yeah.
important for Youngstown. And so, yeah, Glenwood Grounds is one of the best
That
businesses
is
around.
So beautiful. And let me just mention, they close at 1. So from 7 to 1 is your chance, and no Mondays. Sunday and Mondays, I think
Yeah.
they're closed. But I absolutely second. That's a beautiful explanation of it.
They're
of
wonderful
them.
people too. The people that manage it are just
Yeah.
awesome people. So
That is beautiful. That's awesome. Thank you for that. All right.
Our two hot ones would probably be, again, when we run indoor meets, and from that perspective and stuff, we have probably close to maybe 200 people, 250 people that we feed, meet management,
Oh,
plus,
okay.
of course, another 200 athletes. So we bring in, of course, Chick-fil-A, Boardman,
Oh.
Shelly Liberto, and I happen to be, of course, classmates and stuff back in the day. She owns the Chick-fil-A in Boardman, so they deliver 250 to 300 sandwiches, and for all our folks to eat during our indoor meets that go from 10 a.m. till 9 p.m. And then also, anybody who knows us, it's Jersey Mike Subs. Again, and they basically do the same thing, delivering, of course, probably close to 200 to 300 sandwiches and stuff. So both those places in Boardman have been great to our program, and I always want to give them a shout out for everything they do. For not just that, sometimes we just get subs for, of course, the athletes, or Chick-fil-A for the athletes, just for all kinds of experiences. So for
Wow.
George at Jersey Mike's and Shelly at Boardman, they're wonderful to work with, and would advise to go there. Plus, I'd like to also hit Mill Creek Park, because that's
Yeah.
huge for our program. They're like probably a second family with everything they do. They literally have that cross country course, and we want it cut. We want certain things done throughout the park. Again, pretty much Justin Rogers and Brian and Aaron and all the folks out of Mill Creek Park really do an incredible job of setting things up for us to be able to kind of be throughout the park and run throughout the park. It's definitely a second home. We wouldn't be where we are without Mill Creek Park.
That is amazing. I love that. I love that. Yeah, and they're making me hungry. So,
Making me hungry, too.
so it's a good thing. Okay, so it's a good thing that they all are getting treated to lunch today at the Varsity Club. So as soon as we wrap up here, we get to try the different food. If you guys have not been down to the Varsity Club, definitely come on down, check it out. You'll see the big Pete the Penguin right there on the building. That's brand new. They have all kinds of stuff on the patio through the fall, and then through the winter, I'm not sure what they have planned, but always something to do, always people to meet down here at the Varsity Club. And then special thanks to the Gallagher which is the building right connected to this restaurant, and they have long-term units. Actually, you were saying that you used to live in a Gallagher, so can you tell everybody, because they are one of the sponsors of Penguin Signal, so can you just say anything about the Gallagher? Your
Yeah,
experience there?
I know they have studio apartments and then 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom. I don't know if they have 3 bedroom or not.
No, I don't
but
think
they also
so.
have
Yeah.
Airbnbs that they rent out, and I really liked living there. Really
That's
nice
it's a
apartment,
convenient
yeah.
location, right?
Yeah, and they're all like up to date, super nice apartments. So.
Very good. I couldn't have said it any better. So that's amazing. And then a special thanks to Vel Wall, who is Vel Crispies by Vel. She is actually behind the scenes today doing the camera work, and she actually makes over 150 varieties of gourmet Rice Krispie treats. You'll see her at different places. She's actually expanding out to Cleveland and Pittsburgh a little bit even more. So you guys may see her less around town. So if you want her Krispies, you got to order them online, but check her out, Crispies by Vel, and you won't be sorry. They are amazing. So as always, thank you guys for taking the time to join us here. And you guys, I hope you feel more connected. I hope you enjoyed the chance to get to know these runners and coaches off the field, so that when you see YSU in the news, when you see YSU winning another team, you feel a little bit more connected to what's happening here in our city, because you are a big part of it. And everything that happens in this city and in this region, you are a part of. So thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.